Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jaden.
In this program, we're going to introduce you to some of the special organisations who benefit from the contributions of the St George Foundation.
This program is being produced with the help from the kids at Stepping Stone House, but you'll hear more about us later.
Established in 1990, the St George Foundation has helped thousands of kids through the organisations it supports, providing over $5 million to date.
The St George Foundation works closely with hundreds of care and social welfare groups. This program is a glimpse of just a few.
So Julie, what are the objectives of the St George Foundation?
Simply helping children to be the best they can be. And I guess that's investing in Australia's future generations, isn't it?
So what has personally touched you in working with the foundation?
Ooh, lots of things. You know, you meet wonderful people, wonderful kids. I think meeting the people at the lunches we hold before we have the foundation meetings is just so uplifting. They're the people who actually work on the fundraising for all these organisations, generally voluntary, and they work so hard. And they are so inspiring because they simply never give up.
Nicole and I live in a place called Stepping Stone House. It used to be called a youth refuge, but things are different now. Between these four walls, we found a home and a family.
The house is here for teenagers in search of a successful family unit. There are 4 youth workers here who give us the support we need as young people.
People that work here are patient. They understand what we're going through.
Every single one of these people, even the workers, are part of my family.
I was actually scared to go into a refuge. This is home.
The really good thing about the workers here is that they talk to us like adults.
We're all responsible for taking care of ourselves and keeping this house clean. Some are better cooks than others, but at least we're using the skills we'd use in everyday life.
All of the money that we get from various sponsors like the St George Foundation are the things that keep us open. Without them, it would be impossible for us to keep running.
Imagine not being able to communicate with your children. Well, that's what many parents suffer, because nearly 20% of children have a learning difficulty or a disability.
I was getting really frustrated with them because I couldn't understand what they wanted.
Established in 1972, Learning Links is an organisation that assists children with learning difficulties. And through the program, It Takes Two to Talk, Learning Links is helping many parents communicate with their children.
We learn that each child is special, each child is different, and therefore the way that we need to communicate with each child needs to be different.
8 families are chosen for each program, and over 70% of parents say that it has really helped them with the communications with their kids.
I think I've got more out of this course than anybody else ever has. I really do, because I do have children that talk back to me now, and life before that was really frustrating. As a participant in the program, I wouldn't have been able to do it had it not been sponsored by the St George Foundation.
Imagine living your life in silence. 1 in 1,000 Australians are born profoundly deaf. But there's an organisation right here in Sydney that is introducing kids to the world of sound. Australia, and specifically the Cochlear Implant Centre, lead the world in this technology, but also in the training needed to use this amazing device.
They do need to be taught to hear the different sounds and then to interpret them and then to develop their speech. There's no doubt that for deaf children, the world has changed. The cochlear implant now gives them the same opportunity as any other kid.
3-year-old Jaden had a device implanted early in 2001, and it's excellent results like his that convince people to try the program.
Huge improvements, yeah, a lot less frustration. He's a lot calmer, he's a lot more willing.
Oh, did you hear that? Good boy.
We always say every time a new thing happens, we feel like we've won lotto.
No child has ever come to this centre. We've had to say to them, we're sorry, we don't have any money, you can't have a device. Last year, I think we might have done that for the first time if it hadn't been for the St George Foundation.
Each year, a small group of Aussie teenagers head off to an adventure that could change the way they look at the world forever. Legacy and Police Legacy, with the help of St George Foundation, take 6 young people to Africa each year, helping them experience a different way of living.
The small things in life that we take for granted, they don't have them over there, and that we should be grateful for everything that we get.
16-year-old Joshua was one of those chosen for the trip. Joshua's father, a police officer, was killed in the line of duty in 1985. All teenagers on this trip have lost a parent through similar circumstances, but these adventures may be just what the doctor ordered. Well, according to Joshua, it's not exactly a holiday.
He went as a young boy and came back a young adult. Is much more mature, much more patient.
Well, the St George Foundation, it's absolutely great, and it just gives teenagers of our age a chance to be able to go over there and realise how different things are and stop taking life for granted.
The amazing work of the St George Foundation wouldn't be possible without the support and generous donation of the corporate sponsors and individuals.
But this support is ongoing, and it's the St George Foundation that keeps it alive. Thank you.
Thank you.